Let's keep it moving here. Red wants to know 40 days straight on the road. How hard was the 88 Great American Bash Tour?
Oh my God. I want to say we had like 20 something bashes of those 40 days, or not bashes, excuse me, war games, 20 something war games of those 40 days. And, buddy, if you ever saw war games, either live or on tape, it was about 35 to 40 minutes of nonstop, just beating the hell out of each other. There's no break in the action. It is just continual feeding guys in every few minutes, and just it's like one long continual fist fight. And we like to bled to death that summer, to be honest with you, all of us. It was a hell of a grind as far as the travel. We were at outdoor stadiums for a lot of it, and the crowds were just incredible. But it was summertime. You know, we were down in Miami and some different places where it was major, major hot. Not a lot of air blowing in that stadium. And those war games were just brutal. Now, was it rewarding in every way? Absolutely. Absolutely was. It was one of those special summers that will never, ever be again. And we knew that at the time. And even though we're all beat up, and the guys on the other side of the ball were beat up too, and, you know, it was just one of those that we realized this is a special time and it'll never come again, and it won't. So it was an awesome experience, something I'll never forget. But man, it took its toll on us.
I can't wait for us to do a full episode on that sometime. But Jason has a great follow up to your War Games mention. He says, what was your favorite War Games match you were in?
Number one.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. The first is usually the best, especially when you have all the parts that we had. And we didn't know what we were looking at to begin with. It's hard to envision the reaction you're going to get each time a guy feeds in the ring. You can plan for it, but you don't know what you're going to get. And it was just a series of 5 baby faces kicking the shit out of 5 heels. If you go back and look at it, that's pretty much the way it laid out. And getting the reaction for those guys every time they came in that door, you were doing your job and doing it well. And the audience learned to expect that, and we gave it to them, and it's very rewarding.
Interesting question here. One I can't imagine you and I would ever discuss. Alex Prentice writes in, what did Arn think of the Punjabi Prison match?
Well, Alex, I was fortunate to walk around out there and put my hands on that Punjabi prison. Just like the old blue cage was unforgiving, that Punjabi prison was absolutely brutal. There wasn't a soft place anywhere. And the fact that you were going to be locked in there with Kali, who at best was green as goose shit. Big, strong, pretty much during the course of a match, if he decided he just wanted to take over, he just took over. Wasn't much you could do about it. And being locked in that cage, it was not a pleasant situation for the opponent. And I'm just glad it wasn't me.
Joe Lawson writes in, can you explain why the Bunkhouse Stampede in 88 was in a cage? Seems like a cool idea on paper. And then the bell rang.
Yeah, I think those were better served without a cage. Back in those days, the fans knew 100% if you saw cage match advertised, somebody was going to get busted open. That was the selling point. But I think in a Bunkhouse Stampede, you were going to get that anyway. And I think the audience was educated to that. So you really didn't need it. Anytime you took guys and you put them in a cage, you kind of, especially in that scenario where you want to get out and get up close with the fans, and because you're hitting each other with every piece of movable furniture in the building, you want to get as close as you can to the fans without putting them in danger, but letting them get a good feel of the fight that's going on. When you put guys in a cage, you kind of inhibit their ability to be creative, and you're kind of limited on what you can do inside a cage. I would have preferred it to have been without a cage.
Ryan writes in, was it your idea to always start the war games, and did you enjoy being in it the entire time?
Actually, it was Dusty's, because he wanted to start too, and he wanted me to start with him. We trusted each other. We kind of knew from all the single matches that we had what we wanted to do, and I was honored that I got picked, and I pretty much got picked. And after it worked the first time, then it was just pretty much my spot, and I was honored. Kind of like being the television champion as long and as many times as I was. I never looked at that as a burden. I looked at it as a reward and an opportunity to go out and do what I really love about this business, the part that overrides the notoriety or getting a nice table in a restaurant or being noticed. The wrestling is the part that I love. And there's nothing like it on earth to go out and be able to pull something off that you know was good as far as the story and the performance and the physicality, all the things that go into having a good wrestling show. And the wrestling is the part I love, and I just got to be in the whole time, and it was awesome.